What's happening? Welcome back to Midwest World. You see what's on the screen here. Continuing on. EMU rebuilding NCAA basketball 10. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Oh yeah, we should take care of them with ease. We should take care of them with ease. Will we? We will find out. You know what I'm saying? But we should take care of them with ease. Let's get to it. Wow. Come on. Oh. Ah. Ah. Talk to him. All right, let's get it. Let's get it.
The Eagles are on a 10-game winning streak.
Can anyone test these guys?
That's what I'm talking about.
This streak is getting big and these guys don't want it to end.
Got the crib too.
And of course, we look. All 10 players are set. Now for the tip. Tip-off of the first half starts us off. They work the perimeter.
What are we doing? I like their jerseys though. Who was that Tennessee State jerseys hard though? Look like Kansas with red though. You know what I'm saying? No, I actually like Kansas, like literally, you know what I mean? Some of these college teams have some ill jerseys. Same thing when it comes to football uniforms.
They're working around the arc.
And make sure you sub to both channels, man, because you know I'm about to start doing more football exhibitions over there. You know what I'm saying? I move football stuff over there, but I'm about to start doing more football exhibitions. You know, I might record one tomorrow. Actually, come on. Talk to him. Yeah, I might record one tomorrow. So we'll see.
He saw the defender coming and tried to go right through him.
I'm working on that Kevin Durant evolution, so I gotta get that knocked out. I might record that probably.
One thing that stats don't show, Brad,
I might record that in a couple days, actually. I might start on it tomorrow. I don't know. I like to get my week done. I like to get my whole entire week done before I start. You know what I mean? Doing that. So let's go. Let's go. Talk to him. Swing that. There we go. Come on. Talk to him. Talk to him.
That spin move's not going to work against the defense like
It's
that.
all right.
I tell you, they did a great job scouting post play because they were really anticipating the spin.
Dang. Ooh, that was wet too. That was wet too. I mean, listen, we can't be getting hype off beating no team like this. We got to do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no, getting hyped to beat a team like this. I mean, they D-minuses across the board. You know what I mean? So we supposed to get in the whoop, get in the beats. You know what I mean? So
Gave it up. Puts up the J. Busts the J.
That's a breakdown. That'll drive a coach bananas. Help you to lose your hair.
The Eagles have really made some progress in recent times.
knock that down.
They sure have, Brad.
Ah, dang. Knock that down. Knock that down. Said, let's take care of business and go home, fellas. That's all. Let's take care of business and go home. You know what I'm saying? Take care of business. You know what I mean? Go on campus. You know what I mean? That's all we doing here. You know what I mean? Handle business. We at the crib. Nice celebration, y'all. Y'all handle y'all business, man. You know what I mean? You know, kick it with the ladies. You know what I mean? After the game. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, come on. Let's go.
Stewart picks up the foul. First personal foul. Well, if there is such a thing as a good foul, that was probably it.
Sure was, Brad. He fouled to prevent the easy basket.
Well, he's just a freshman, but hey, we all got to start somewhere.
Well, he's out there seeing a lot of this for the first time. It's going to be important that he gets the right direction and guidance from his teammates and coaching staff.
Oh.
For two.
Let's go.
Off the glass and no good.
Let's go, big dog. I got you. Hold on. Get set. I don't want that thing being picked off. There we go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
The defense comes up with a play.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Dagger in the heart. That shot, Dick.
Hey, they lost focus here. They need a timeout to regroup, Brad.
Yeah, let me get that. Let me get that.
7 minutes left on the
No.
game clock.
It's about to be foul. Come on, let's go.
Off the glass and no
Let's
good.
get it.
The student body looks to be full with rage and willing to cheer on
Knock
the
that down. That's you.
team.
That's
The
you.
student
Ah,
section looks like
there
they're
it
having
is.
a great
Yeah.
time.
Run him out the gym, man.
He gets another
Run him out
shot
the gym.
off
If we
and
want
in.
to, I'm trying to think. Can you change conferences in this? I don't remember if you can change conferences in this. I know you can do it in football. I don't know if you can do it with basketball. Because I do want to. If I'm able to do that, I don't remember if I can. If I'm able to do that, I will move them to a hard conference. You know what I mean? I will do that because we're never gonna face no cold teams when it comes to division or conference games. I'm not saying it's a conference game because I recall it didn't be in the MAC division. But I mean, we got to be dealing with conference games soon. You know what I'm saying? But the conference games ain't gonna be nothing. Come on, let's go.
For the bucket, off the glass and no good.
And you know that's the only way I'm gonna get dope recruits to come here. I would have to switch conferences. That's just what it is in college. I mean, nobody's gonna come to the MAC division or play basketball unless they got challenges academically. That's it. You know what I'm saying? If they got their grades, if they got the grades and everything like that, they're not gonna come here. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation, and that's in real life too. You know what I'm saying? Like the only reason why, shoot, he forget his name. Knock that down, big fella. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Only reason why my man's, you know what I mean? Dog, he forget his name. The Dreads, man. I know his name. He's from here. You know what I mean? It'll come to me. I'm terrible with names, man. I swear I am. You know what I mean? But the only reason why he went to Memphis and came to us is because the situations he was getting into. All right, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Only reason.
Seconds.
Nah, it's bothering me. I know his name. I know his name because he's from around here.
With the J.
Come on, let's go. Come on. There we go. There we go. Talk to him. That was a foul, dog.
We'll get a change of possession.
We couldn't get that call.
The Eagles have a great freshman class. They've definitely got some kids with potential. Trying to pack it inside.
Nice shot. Let's go.
He's not getting himself in position for the good shot.
Well, this is you right here. This is you right here. Knock that down. We down the court.
Tries for two.
Let's go.
Off the glass and no good. From beyond the arc.
Dang. Oh.
Nope. On the dribble, gives it up.
See over there. Swing that. He got this. He got that. Oh. Damn. There you go. There you go. Ah.
There's a high percentage shot.
Wow, what hops, baby. What hops.
Takes the pass in the
terrific
nice
shot, though. He's a dominator blocking shots on the interior.
How about that drive to the hoop, Dick?
Great job of using the bounce to get to the rim. Not too many
there you go.
defenses
Come on,
that
talk to
can
him.
stop that move.
See you, big fella. I see you, big fella. I see you, big fella. I see you down there, big fella.
Mr. Excitement with that jam.
Work the perimeter.
Spacing so important. Get 15 to 17 feet apart.
Might be a ball screen here, Dick.
Well, you got to use that screen.
We doing.
How to dribble use the screen is important in a pick and roll situation.
Off the glass and no good.
There you go. There you go.
I want to take it to the rack. High wire rack, baby. Little dipsy-do dunkaroo.
The crowd begins to chant.
Who says there's no such thing as a home court advantage?
3 minutes left on the game clock. Hard foul.
Come on, man.
Well, it commits an intentional foul there to prevent the easy basket.
Well, it's a smart play, Brad, especially if you can afford to use a personal foul. I like his mentality. No easy baskets.
There's a snapshot of some of his averages.
It's not always about numbers, Brad. It's good to fill the stat sheet, but does he do the little things? That's the question.
Amani Bates. There it is. Amani Bates. The reason why Amani Bates, listen, look, I had to look that up real quick while I was at the line. I'm like, no, I know his name. Amani Bates. The only reason why he even came back to us, because he's from Ipsy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He was a big deal out here, you know what I mean? So, the reason why he came back to us because of the situations he was getting into, man. That's it, you know what I mean? So, it's all, you got to play, and when they say politics, you got to play the game. You have to play the game the right way to get certain opportunities. That's just the truth, man. I messed up. You know, I squandered things because I made mistakes, you know what I mean? So that's just what it is, you know what I mean? Some BS too. So it's like, dang. So I mean, it's not about you being nice, because Amani Bates could play right now and start. He would be at least on the scoring side. At least on the scoring side, he'd be one of the more dynamic two guards in the game today if he, you know, got a shot. But due to the fact he was making mistakes and getting into things, you know, whatever, you know, never know the whole story behind stuff. But due to the fact he was getting into situations, you know, he didn't get a shot in the league, you know, because he's good enough. He's good enough to be dynamic in the league. And I'm not saying that because some people say, oh, it's because he's from, no. He's nice. Offensively, Amani Bates is nice. I'm not defense. Of course, he can use some work, but he can at least be a guy. He can at least at this point be a go-to six man. Amani Bates. You can put him in a Jamal Crawford role. You know what I mean? And he'd be very effective. He would be effective right now if you like, hey, I want you to come in. Matter of fact, that's gonna be my show topic tomorrow. Yep, I'm gonna talk about Amani Bates, why he's not getting a shot. You know, I'm gonna talk about that in the morning. Don't even worry about it. But the thing is, you're not gonna see this. The thing is, the way I do my recording, you're not gonna see this probably till Thursday. But what I'm talking about, you know, the show you gonna already heard the show if you listen to it. Make sure you check out Midwest Talks Basketball. By the way, you know what I'm saying? Check that out. I'm talking basketball, you know what I mean? So make sure y'all check that out on here. You know what I mean? If you want to listen in the mornings and stuff like that, you know, just listen to them. I mean, you know, I'm trying to, you know, expand do what I do. I love the game of basketball, so I want to be a part of it in some type of way. So if I'm able to show my love for the game by playing basketball games and talking it, hey, I'm good with that, man. I love the game. I love it. It's part of my life, man. I love basketball. You know what I mean? I love it. So I mean, you know, so I'm happy to even be able to be doing this. You know what I'm saying? I still get some sort of fulfillment as far as with the game of basketball by doing this stuff. But Amani Bates should definitely be at least a six man. I'm gonna talk about that. I'm definitely talking about that tomorrow. Yeah, we talking about Amani Bates, so that's gonna be the show Monday. So you're gonna hear that if you by the time you hear this, if you haven't heard it, go check it out, because I'm gonna have it up Monday morning. You know what I'm saying? I like to do my shows in the morning when I'm driving to work. So come on, dang, talk to him. Yeah, we going, but you know we can't really look, man. Y'all will see me. I say this, y'all will see me get cooked, and y'all will see me win. I show it all. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't always have games like this where I'm going off. I don't always get blew out. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I mean? But you know, we having a good game against these guys, and hey, I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Monty Bates should be at least a six man somewhere. He should be at least a six man somewhere. There's no excuse. But you know, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Like I said, all this stuff is politics, man. So you got to play the game, man. And that's unfortunate that you have to do things like that. I don't like that, but I mean that's just the way it goes sometimes, man. You got to play the game. You know what I mean? And I mess things up because I didn't want to play the game sometimes. I can admit that, you know what I mean? Because it's just not, you know what I mean? Playing the game is just some BS. Because there'd be some BS behind the scenes. It's like, come on, some bull, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Instead, just you know, I'm all about this, man. If I had a team, shoot, let's say for example, let's say I'm running EMU. I'm getting the best players. I will have a mentorship program. Make sure I instill that. You know what I mean? And make sure I have some guys to mentor these young dudes, because at the end of the day, we all was young too. If you're older listening to this, you was young too. So to sit there and say like, oh yeah, I know I wasn't perfect as no kid. You know what I'm saying? 100%. I was wilding in some instances. You know what I mean? So yeah, head on straight now. You know what I mean? Your head on straight now. You make the right decisions now. But when you was 18, 16 or 17, 18, you wasn't making the right decisions all the time, man. Cut it out. You know what I mean? No kid was really. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I have a mentorship program and try to you know, put them on the real the real deal about life. Not no cookie cutter stuff. Let them know these are the consequences of your actions when you do certain things, man, because that's the only way they're gonna know. And if you decide to make them decisions, you knew the consequences there. You can't say you didn't know. You know what I mean? I will have a program in place that even like for instance, because you know you got to be real with your players too. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's say I got a year. It's not gonna be every year, but let's say I had a year where I got like 2 or 3 dudes going to the league for sure. You know, one maybe late first round, the others, you know, probably early second round. You know what I mean? Or even overseas. You know what I'm saying? I got at least 3 guys going to the pros. Look here, man. I'm about to put them on game. Like, check this out, man. This is what you about to deal with, dog. I'm not even going to even lie to you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to deal with a lot of nonsense, a lot of politics. You're going to be dealing with fake people showing up, thinking they, acting like they rock with you. They probably already doing it now because they know, you know what I mean, you going to go to the league. As long as you don't get hurt, you going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have people in your ear, you know what I mean, talking about, oh man, I can't, I believe I couldn't. I always knew you would do it. The same people who said you couldn't do it. You're gonna have girls in your DMs or all of a sudden remembering your phone number, or you know what I'm saying, or responding to some old messages talking about some, hey, you know, da da da. You know what I mean? All that you gonna have. And listen, you gonna slip. You gonna slip. You know what I mean? By you being young. You know what I mean? You know, your hormones all over the place. You gonna slip. So you got, I would have a mentorship program about protecting yourself. You gonna slip. I know you gonna slip. For me to sit there and act like you're not gonna slip is lunacy. You're gonna slip, especially when you get around the women. But you gotta protect yourself. You have to protect. Do not think with the, you know what I mean? Think with your brain, not the other. You know what I mean? You know, I get it. You know what I mean? You a man, I get all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you a young man on top of that. So you in shape. That means you know what it is. I'm trying to explain this as clean as possible. You know what I'm saying? But you know what's up, man. You in shape, everything flowing. You gonna be, you know what I'm saying? You gonna see a bunch of women that you never had access to, man. So you gonna slip, but do not be out here getting people pregnant and all that, you know, because you gonna regret it. You know what I'm saying? You gonna regret it unless you're trying to build a family, which I wouldn't recommend doing that after you retire. You know what I'm saying? I would not recommend doing it unless listen, just look at the statistics. I'm not even gonna sit there and go into that. All you gotta do is look at what's going on. And I ain't even talking about what's in the news. Just look at the statistics, you know what I mean? So don't be sitting there trying to build a family while you trying to build your career in the league, because for one, you're not gonna be able to be a good father. You know what I'm saying? Let's call that what it is. You're not gonna be at home like, you can't raise your kids just with money. You need to raise them and raise them for real, because let's be honest, if you're in the NBA or if you overseas, what time you got to be at home like that? Just call this what it is and just be real about it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, just be real about it. You know, you got practice. You have to go to practice. You know, you got film study. You know what I mean? You got to travel all the time. If you in the league, you're going. I mean, you traveling all year round. You know what I'm saying? Depending on your status and who you are, that's even more traveling, even in the off season and things like that, and more engagement. So you're not gonna be home. So the thing is, and that's just the reality. There's no other way around that. You can't. There's no way. You're never gonna be home. So therefore, your family life is gonna suffer. You're gonna have issues, and a woman is not gonna logically think about that. They're gonna be on some emotional stuff. They're not gonna understand and realize, look, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it is. So I would strongly recommend not doing that. Strongly recommend not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got somebody that's really rocking with you like that and understand what it is. That's why people, you know, get with people in their own field, because they know what's up, or in that type of life, like that understand that lifestyle. You get some, man, listen, it'd be bad. So I have a mentorship program for my kids. Like, hey, look, or my young man, like, look, you about to walk into the world. The world is ruthless. You got to be kind of somewhat ruthless with it. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your guard up. You got to do all that. I mean, and listen, they going to still make mistakes. But as long as you can help some, the whole goal is helping some not make mistakes. Nope, the 100% is not going to listen. To be honest, probably only 20 or 30% is going to listen to what you got to say when it comes to that. Because they're going to feel like they know it all already. But at least you tried and genuinely tried. I'm going to get, I'm not really necessarily, because my thing is this. Basketball is a career. I don't care what anybody say. Basketball is a real career. You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways to be involved in the game. All right? So let's say I got some guys that's really knowledgeable about the game, and that's what they do, and that's what they love for real. Okay, cool. Look, this is the thing. Okay, maybe you couldn't get to the where you want to go, but you could be a local. You could be an analyst. You could be a coach. You know what I'm saying? You can do all kind of stuff. There's things you can do to be still a part of the game. And when I say analyst, you don't have to be necessarily ESPN. You can be local. You know what I'm saying? You can radio. You know what I mean? You can really and listen. Being an analyst is hard work. You got to really know your stuff. So I mean, if basketball is your life, you can make a living in the game. It don't have to necessarily. NBA is not the end all be all when it comes to. Think about how short a player's career is. Think about how short a player's career is for real. You know what I'm saying? How small, how the playing career of a person, what percentage of their lifespan is that? You know what I mean? So, but if you want to do it for the rest of your life and be involved in the game, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to make sure I have things in place for those guys, man. I'm not going to sit there and tell them, oh, yeah, because you got some cats that'll tell you that's not a real career. If you love the game of basketball and that's your life and that's what you love and that's what you want to do, all right, no doubt. If you doing this just to, I just want to play college ball and then get into something else, no problem there too. You know what I'm saying? It's all about knowing who you are. You know what I'm saying? Just because you playing college ball, that don't mean you trying to go to the league. You know what I'm saying? I've known some guys that was good at basketball. You know what I'm saying? And they had talent enough to go, you know what I'm saying? Or they had the talent to go. Just because you don't see people on TV, that don't mean they don't got the talent to go. I done played with some cats that's nice, and they whole thing is, man, I'm not trying to travel all like that. I'm not trying to, because they can easily go overseas or get a D-League tryout, all kind of stuff. You only hear about the big names, you know what I mean? There's a lot of guys that's nice like that, you know what I mean? So and just because you don't see them on ESPN or whatever the case is, they still got people hitting them up talking about, hey, you want this D-League tryout, or you want to China, all that, so. And some just don't want to live that lifestyle. Honestly, they'd rather just live a regular life. And there's nothing wrong with that either. There's no shame in that. You know what I'm saying? Because a professional athlete's lifestyle is hard, man. That's a hard lifestyle. So, everybody don't want to do that. So, but if somebody came to me like, Coach, man, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. All right. Okay. Cool. Okay, all right. I'm going to do the best I can to at least push you in that direction. I'm gonna do the best I can. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I can, but I can do the best I can there and try to give you resources and point you in certain directions, because everybody can't make it to the NBA. But guess what? You know what I mean? You can coach until you can't. You can coach until as long as you function, you can coach until you 70. You know what I'm saying? So you can be a coach. But you still gotta play. You still gotta move right. You know what I mean. You could be a developer. You can be if you're a great shooter, right? If that's your thing, you can be a developmental coach. You can travel and develop players. You know what I mean, with their shooting abilities. Yeah, you look at Lethal Shooter. I've been watching Lethal Shooter for a long time. You know what I'm saying? This brother, he working out NBA players and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Off consistency. He love the game. You know what I'm saying? So. If you good on defense, you can be on the coaching staff coaching defense. You know how many college teams there is? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, there's space for you. You just gotta work hard, you know what I mean? And really lock in. This is what you want to do, and don't allow people to tell you can't do that, and don't allow people to get in your way. If people get in your way, you gotta cut them off. Point blank, period. If people getting in your way and giving you negative and telling you can't do something, cut them off, because the people that usually tell you that is the ones that's not doing anything with them, with their life at all. They sitting at the crib saying, "Oh, you can't do that. What are you doing?" You need to get them up out of here. Nah, you don't need people like that around you. You know what I'm saying? Because the person that's handling their business, they gonna be like, "Hey, you can do that. You got to work hard and stay consistent. Your time will come. It is what it is. I mean, it may not come when you want it, but you know what I'm saying? It may not come exactly when you want it. It may be early, it may be late, but your time will come. Point blank, as long as you grinding. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep the grind up, though. You know what I mean? You can't just stop. You know what I mean? You got to keep the grind up. So that'd be, I would have a program in place like that for the young men, man. Put them on game on every aspect of life, like when it come to this. You know what I mean? Because you need to know these things, man. You know, I get guys who got the talent, maybe rough around the edges. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna put them on game. Like, listen, and you can try to help them. Like, I'm gonna try to genuinely help them. It's not gonna always work, but I'm gonna try. Like, I know you like the fast money. I know you like this, that, and the third. But man, you know, I understand this may be the slow process, but guess what? It's gonna work out in the long run. And eventually, your mind is gonna change if you stay on this path. Your mind will change. You know what I'm saying? You're going to grow out of this. You just got to give it a shot and really, you know what I mean? But it's the hardest thing for you to do is cut off. It's going to be cutting off the negative people or the people. Cause it can be the people closest to you that you feel like is your friends. And that's going to be tough to do. I'm not saying that's easy, but if you want this, you have to change your surroundings to do what you got to do. So that's what I would do if I had a team out there. And the school, if I'm just, you know, the coach, I'm going to do everything I can to help these guys get to where they want to go in life, you know what I'm saying? At least lead them in that direction. That's what I would do, you know what I'm saying? Everybody not going to listen, but I do the best I can. Okay, this is going to be a good one, man. So, all right, we facing Bradley Braves next up, man. So make sure you like, subscribe, share the content. Greatly appreciate it from everybody. Peace.